How is crypto in cold storage treated in a bankruptcy? What are legitimate ways individuals structure assets in advance to protect them properly? They would be treated just like any other property or investment. Somebody could subpoena for the record of those assets on your crypto exchanges. They would be able to figure out, where you're holding them. If you say, I lost my keys in a boating accident, depending on who the creditor is, they could subpoena the manufacturer of the wallet and get the keys if it's the US government or somebody else. But in a bankruptcy, they are treated as a capital asset, same as any other investment or capital asset would be. In order to be able to structure those, ideally, you're going to set up some type of structure that has creditor protection. If that's an LLC, you want to maintain your corporate veil, not commingling funds. You're going to keep separation of assets. You're going to do your board resolutions and meeting minutes and all the stuff that you would have if you were operating a legitimate company, because you are operating a legitimate company. A trust. So revocable trust isn't going to do much for you. There's no EIN. There's no creditor protection for that. If you set up an irrevocable trust, sure, that's got its own EIN. You're going to have a separation of control there, though. You're going to have a trust protector. You're going to have a distribution trustee. It's going to take 2 years to season in that creditor protection, depending on what jurisdiction you're filing that irrevocable trust in, or that asset protection trust. If you get your assets offshore, you could go to the Cook Islands. That's the most secure. It's never been penetrated even by the US government, but you're going to lose a lot of control of the assets if you're doing it that way. So just be aware, it's kind of a give and take. Most people that we work with, they keep a portion of the assets in their taxable estate, whether that's inside of an LLC that they manage and own, and then they take up another portion of that and they'll move it out of their taxable estate and move it into an irrevocable trust, while the cost basis or the price of the asset still low, so that they can be within the gift tax threshold here in the US, not use a huge portion of that. So again, I know enough to be dangerous. I would speak with an estate planner, somebody that's familiar with digital assets. If you want to work with our group, we're happy to make referrals or